Thank you. Okay. Either y'all want water? I'm good.
Nick, we're streaming. I just needed to check.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I still got 5 minutes.
Yeah. This gives me a chance to work my comb over.
That's right.
I got some gel in the car. For hair gel.
Nice. Yeah, exactly.
What, you gonna comb your hair, you said?
Yeah, my comb over, yeah.
You and me both.
This.
That meeting on the 30th.
Oh, Brazilian kids. Oh, yeah, as a matter of fact, we're going to talk about that tonight, too.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I figured we're talking about a bunch of stuff, right?
Well, you didn't have to know.
To work. Yeah, but to work, I have to work. Yeah. We're going to talk about the 4th of July, Neighbor Day, Brazilian kids, Flavistad, space, A-M, I-S-T. Telling if it had and then I can sit down for the website. And I just have some training center for volunteers. I want to teach. So I'm going to
I'm not blind. Sitting in the right now.
Yeah. We'll talk.
And when you say we,
Yeah, I know.
making sure we know that they can lead on it.
Yeah, I know. Flexing off the car. Now we're talking closer to the top.
Yeah. There was a lot of
It isn't fast. I could feel it. Maybe I knew what was going on already.
Listening to it on your phone or computer.
The computer.
I did the
I do it on a computer too, and I can hear.
Yeah,
So maybe it's
maybe
a phone
it's a
thing.
phone thing.
Yeah. The meetings online, and someone was saying they couldn't hear. On the phone, it sounds muffled. On the computer, you can hear it.
I wonder if we speak into the microphone.
Yeah.
And you better hear it clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody to the Tuesday 11th, June 11th, 2024 workshop council meeting. First things first is going to be our pledge to the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you wouldn't mind saying the Lord's Prayer, please. Sir.
Heavenly Father, we ask for your guidance and wisdom over our meeting tonight. We pray for your favor and protection over our city officials, our officers. We pray that you will help each of us be the best servants for our community we can be. We ask for your continued blessings over our city, our state, and this great nation. In Jesus' holy name, amen.
Amen.
First thing first is, has everybody had an opportunity to review the meeting minutes
Yes.
from the last meeting?
Good start.
All right, do I have a motion to approve those meeting minutes? I have a motion from Crystal. Do I have a second? Second. I got a second from Bob. All in favor down the line?
Aye.
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 All in favor. All right, we're going to jump right into this. First thing on the agenda is, actually, I'm gonna pause right now. We've had, in the last couple of days, not enough to update the agenda, but I would like to propose an executive session portion of this meeting to talk about real estate purchase and sale. I would like to propose doing that after public comment, so we'll be able to get through everything before everybody has to leave the meeting. Do I have a motion to accept that executive session at the end of the meeting?
Motion.
I have a motion from Sylvia. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Crystal. All in favor of doing that?
Aye.
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 All in favor of adding the executive session after public comment? Thank you. We're going to go into business discussion. First thing on the agenda is the unlawful discharge of firearms within the city limits. In layman's terms, I'm not going to read the entire ordinance. It's essentially restricting any gunfire. Actually, I'll just read the one thing. It should be unlawful for any person to discharge any firearm within the corporate city limits of the city unless at a licensed shooting gallery or by the permission of the chief of police for military parade or funeral. Is there any discussion over this ordinance? Is there anything that we want to say or state?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So it was brought up in a conversation that there's already an ordinance for this?
So there's already a property line, like you can't shoot within a certain amount of feet within a property line.
Okay.
And so there's that. This would limit any firearm discharge within the entire city limit.
Okay.
And that's for just negligent, celebratory. I'm like, if you're defending yourself, that's still.
Yeah, in the exceptions, it says unlawful use of the lawful use of a weapon for self-defense is excluded, as well as the acquisition, possession, and disposition of a weapon by police department, sheriff offices, so on and so forth, for other law enforcement agencies, and the military, naval forces, so on.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're teaching somebody how to shoot, if you're plinking, I mean, if you're just using a .22 caliber, that's still unlawful. And
It's inside,
okay,
according to this.
all right, great.
So, if that's something that you want or don't want, that's going to be something that we need to discuss now. That way we can make amendments to this particular ordinance.
Yeah, as it is, I'm not going to vote for this. Like, it would have to have.
Well, it does say in here, it says discharging a weapon where it's deemed reckless and negligent throughout it. So, recklessness, discharge of firearms for supplicatory shooting or firing may result in psychological, physical injuries or loss of life. So it does clarify for reckless and negligent.
That's open to interpretation now.
Yeah, if somebody's shooting an animal, is that reckless? I mean, if you're in your neighborhood, you're next to one neighbor, you shoot an animal, you miss it, the bullet goes in somebody's house,
Then it becomes reckless.
then it becomes reckless.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, so is there something that we want to amend within this? Or is there wording that we need to change specifically? Or is this something that we feel shouldn't even move forward?
No, I feel it needs to move forward. I don't want to get shot by somebody, the people on my road that shoot random guns off up into the air, celebratory things. I don't think that's appropriate.
I agree.
Because someone can be in danger, their life.
I agree, it needs to be addressed somehow. The population increases with the apartments we have. We still have acreage behind these apartments where you better lock that down one way or another. Again, if somebody's got some exceptions or whatever they want to have, but I think it does need to be addressed.
Yes.
Some form.
I agree.
Nick, can you give some examples of why this ordinance has been brought up? I mean, I can give you one, but the guy with the AR-15.
Yeah, that was most recent, but that was in a neighborhood. So, Bob, did you bring up the within a certain distance of property line? So I believe every neighborhood qualifies, even with Blackberry Farms with lots, they still would qualify under that. So we're talking about R1 properties, we're talking about agriculture zone properties, we're talking about manufacturing, light industrial or industrial land that's been zoned that way. That's what this is mostly looking at. So this is a tightening of language within the city as we continue to grow. I've had complaints about celebratory weapons being shot off. I've also, that's mostly the biggest complaint at this point, is people just shooting off firearms for the sake of it, or at least they're saying it's celebratory. Whether it be for reason or not, I wasn't there, right? So that's where this is predominantly coming from.
But there are still some rural areas where, people are responsible gun owners and they want to practice shooting, and they're shooting into a dirt embankment, or they're teaching their next generation to shoot.
Yep.
This is going to cut that off.
Not really.
City
It
limits.
limits reckless and
In the city
negligent.
limits. I
So
know
if they're
that.
doing it to dirt embankment, then you have no houses around you. I don't consider that reckless. If you're
But
target,
this would specifically limit ending in that scenario, though.
Would you be able to get a license to do, I mean, if you're going to teach people how to shoot at 22, unless you're licensed, I don't want somebody doing that next to me. Kids in my backyard.
but that
But I mean,
goes under the property line ordinance on the other previous ordinance where they can't shoot it off anyway.
Yeah. It's a double deal.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the property line as in like HOAs, or are we talking like property line period?
She's talking specifically within the neighborhoods.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I understand that.
Yeah,
I'm just
that's
thinking in terms of
that's
the rural
what-
areas. Yeah, so as far as like the rural areas go,
Right. So we have right now in the city, I can think of, off the top of my head, 4 properties that would have enough, probably 12 properties, 12 properties within the city that have enough land to qualify within the city limits that this would most affect.
look, I grew up shooting. I love shooting. It's something that my uncle and I bonded over, and I don't see,
My purpose for bringing any ordinance to the table is because I've had multiple complaints, right?
absolutely.
And so if I get multiple complaints over and over and over about something, I'm bringing it to the table.
Sure.
Okay? I'm not trying to play, any kind of game here. It's specifically,
I'm all for it.
Yeah, no, I
I understand this, but I just think there needs to be language in there so that that reckless and negligent. But if somebody is teaching their son or daughter how to shoot, and then, someone hears gunfire and they get upset and they call the police, should you automatically get a ticket or something like that for that? If somebody's just going to get afraid?
there's plenty of responsible gun. So,
I agree with you, Bob. I grew up the same way, shoot guns on rural property in my family. But how do you word it to where that's going to be an exception?
Right.
If you're teaching your kid, at a property adjoining Blakely Apartments, a bullet goes straight into that fire.
That's what I'm worried
How do you word it so And I'm not, maybe we can, we just, I something to consider. Maybe the square footage has to be somewhere so far away
Sure.
from any public.
I'm all for that.
Maybe that's some way
I'm
to do
perfectly
it.
fine with that.
But you've got to word it.
Yes,
where, you know,
that's cool.
You can't be in Brooke Village and want to teach your kids in the backyard.
I agree.
Okay, so,
Within 1,000 feet?
I don't,
We look that up.
I want, yeah, I was about to say, I need to know what the ordinance already is, a state law, as far as shooting within, property lines of the property owners. And then, you know, we can look at if it's within a certain amount of additional feet after that. Unless they're, you know, snipers trained in the Navy.
Right.
You know, I don't think we should have too much of an issue of problem.
Small and small.
So, okay, so we'll look into that. Let me make some notes to this.
I know the gun range is where it's left by.
Trigger time.
I know Gainesville.
Just saying that,
Full
where you
time.
can go if you want to practice, like, mountain.
No,
It's safe.
Pendergrass is open for business, and that would be an excellent, an absolutely fantastic business to open up on 129. That's a great idea.
Is there one in Jackson County? Is one you're talking about in Jackson County?
Yeah, it's fall.
Yeah, there's one in Lubbock. Someone buy one of these warehouses and make it a shooting range.
You know, that happened beyond, I'm sure it could sell for something like 68 million, so. Equitable. Is there any other discussion at this point? I'll look up the information, forward that to the council, and then we'll have any other discussion during the meeting.
Yeah.
Is that fine?
Mhm.
Okay, next on the agenda, the commercial vehicle ordinance proposal. I know when I looked online after some time, I saw there was quite a bit of comments about that, and it was an ordinance that was misconstrued, and I'm going to take the responsibility for not having that language maybe more simplified, and so it made it sound as if we were trying to, or I was trying to, eliminate any commercial vehicles of any kind within the city, and that includes Comcast, an Uber driver, or fill in the blank, and that was not the purpose of that ordinance. The purpose of that ordinance was specifically for heavy machinery, roadside essentially, and I'm just going to ask that we just go ahead and formally take that off. And if everybody has, unless anybody particularly wants to continue this. So we're just going to go ahead and strike this off and remove the commercial vehicle ordinance proposal, and we won't see that again. Next on the list is the adoption of the street of the Walnut Grove subdivision. We've been here, done that before, several times now. Does anybody have any questions or concerns with that particular ordinance?
I just want, I want clarification, because someone asked the question and I didn't go back to read it. Are the sidewalks still the responsibility of the HOA, or does that become part of the street?
Within the ordinance, it does say that the sidewalks can be enforced by the city. But most of the time, if a car is being parked on the sidewalk, it's also being parked in the yard, which would become, the yard would be considered the HOA. Our purpose and the reason why we have a street ordinance like this and adopting a street in the no parking would be to ensure that we have a safe drive for not only our children for school buses. Originally, when we brought up street parking, it was at the request of Jackson County School System with the school buses, as well as the garbage trucks and multiple delivery service, as well as emergency services. The EMS and North Jackson Fire Department also had a problem with navigating through neighborhoods. At the time, it was seasons, months or years and years ago, but the way that city ordinances work, they're a broad stroke. So if we do it somewhere in the city, it's everywhere. So that's a long answer saying yes, but we'd like the HOA to enforce parking in yards.
Okay.
Is there any other discussion with the subdivision adoption? All right. I'm going to go out of order real quick and just do the Pendergrass Glen. We talked about the fences, for them to be able to put up wood fences. That's going to take an amendment to their zoning ordinance. When that was approved, seems like forever ago, over 10 years ago. What we're going to have to do is, the only thing that we're missing from them is a formal request from their leadership within the...
I'm the management company for that property, and that's why I'm here, that we are requesting that be removed, because we have a lot of the reservoir.
Do you need that in writing? Can we get that in writing?
Sure, not a problem.
Please send that in, and then as soon as you do, well, I already have it on the agenda. We just need the formal request. That way we can add it. Do you want it in an email? Can you email it if you don't mind?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, that would be great.
All right.
And that way it's in print. So once we get that, we can then add it, and then we can start going forward from there.
Okay.
Okay.
Once I turn it in, can I start approving?
It has to be changed, so you're talking about 60 days.
50 days?
2 meetings worth, because if we have to do an amendment, and it's a 2-meeting process, 2 regular scheduled, but I can get it started this month's meeting.
Okay.
And then we can vote on it for next month's meeting.
Okay. All right. Very good. I'll have that to you tomorrow morning then, for sure.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, 4th of July. Renee, take it away.
So we'll have our 4th of July event on July the 6th from 5 to 10 p.m. In the area around the City Hall here. There will be a map of road closures posted on the website under notices. There'll be Church Street, a portion of Church Street and Smith Bridges Street. We'll provide a shuttle service, and we'll get those times out. We'll assume it'll start a little before 5, but the signs will be out. We'll let you know where they're going to be, so you know you can be picked up if you need that.
We can post a map online.
Yes, we can. Live music. We'll have a band, 2 bounce houses, 1 for 5 and under, and 1 for 6 and up.
Who's our musician?
I don't have the name of the band.
Okay.
It is.
Okay.
Double lane dry slide and double lane wet slide, a basketball game, an inflatable, a 10-foot high striker, a mechanical bull. Your event moonwalk is coming. Bringing us that. Let's see. Concessions. Our concession stand will have cheeseburgers, hamburgers, all beef hot dogs, and the sides. And we will accept card or cash payment. We'll have G-Thing barbecue, Life Lemons, Heavenly Cookies, the Carriage House, Fresco Taco Truck, Kona Ice, Crab and Soul, and Brandy's Unique Design.
So
for our vendors.
I think we have Chris Hammer.
It's not him.
It's not him?
No.
Okay.
The American Legion will be back with Uncle Sam and face painting, and Atlanta Party People will be here with 2 magic shows. The first one at 6:30 and another at 7:30. There'll be 45-minute shows inside the City Hall. They're also bringing a balloon artist and a caricaturist.
No. That's new.
Okay. We'll have a tent for T-shirt sales, and we may start pre-sale on those about a week before the event. So keep an eye on Facebook or the city's webpage for that. We'll be selling glow wands, and then fireworks will start at dusk. We'll have the fire department here to help us out.
Okay, I know right before the meeting, we had more questions. Gabe?
Yeah, but you answered it. That's the advertising.
Okay, yes,
Got all your signs ready to go.
yes, they're ready to go out.
I did have a question. If somebody wants to be a vendor, is it too late? I know some people were asking about that as well.
Go ahead.
I think if they contact Renee, Renee's the coordinator for all this at this point. So, you know, I'm leaving this in Renee's hand, very capable.
City Hall.
So call it City Hall.
Good deal.
And then if she feels like it's a good fit, or, you know, her vetting process or whatever she does, then background check. That's right.
We'll look at the dates and things like that, yeah.
Good deal.
Anybody else have any questions about 4th of July?
Can I request Renee make these copies?
You can request it.
Strawberry and blueberry pie.
Did we want to try to do something fun for all the different neighborhoods, like a book drive contest or something like that, to bring in books from the library? Something fun and competitive, pseudo-competitive? Did you want to do something like that? Or Neighbors Day or something?
You can all get on the mechanical bull.
Okay.
Who can stay on the longest?
It would be fun, maybe, if future events.
If it can move, if I sit on it, I'll be impressed.
You're gonna mention, there is a dunk
There is
tank.
a dunk tank.
Well, that was the Dump the Mayor tank.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know why I
Dump the Mayor. Yeah. Dump the council.
I did
We
it
need
for
to have
several
all
years.
I
sorts of
remember.
that.
Yeah, Dump the council. We all have to take turns.
I'll volunteer to do that.
I think it's all.
To dunk.
I'll,
Yeah.
no. I'll go in the tank first before you guys put your cooties in it.
We'll hold you to that.
I'll go first, I'm not afraid.
So,
Melt.
Bob is wanting to talk about several things. He brought it up last meeting, and I want to be clear that he is looking in each one of these programs. We are actively trying to search for those that are wanting to volunteer in each one of these programs. So if you are interested in any one of these programs, not only as council, but anybody that is in the city or the surrounding area, and if this is a calling that you want to participate in, we welcome that volunteerism.
Absolutely.
So, Bob, do you want to talk about your programs that you're wanting to
Certainly.
bring? Hopefully, we can get off the ground.
Yes. So we had the first meeting for the vision casting for the Resilient Kids Grant, which, for those who don't know, Resilient Kids is an excellent program. It's a 13-week program in which we're going to bring together families in the community that want to improve. They basically want to improve the family dynamic. When young kids have between 30 and 40 of these particular assets, right? I mean, if it's speaking compassionately with one another, or being supportive in the family unit, or healthy practices and healthy habits. But when they demonstrate those 30 to 40 assets, their life trajectory is incredible, absolutely incredible. So we sat through the vision casting for 2 hours. The actual training, the facilitator training, and the people who are going to participate in this is going to be a 4-hour-long project. That's July 16th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We definitely need people to be involved with that. That's July 16th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then in addition to that, separately, completely separately, we have the...
And that's for Resilient Kids?
That's for Resilient Kids, yes. Feel free to look it up, again, online, Resilient.com, Resilient Kids. The information is there. Look up the vision casting, the community partnership. There's an entire PDF listing of everything that you can see. It's a phenomenal program.
Here.
Pardon? Yes, that's going to be right here, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Tuesday, July 16th. Monday, July 15th, I would like us to begin English lessons as taught by volunteers from, or using the resources of La Amistad. I found out that North Jackson Elementary has a program, but again, I want to do everything I can to make use of our amazing library. And so Monday evenings and Wednesday evenings, there's a 10-week program where people can learn English. And that's not just if they're Hispanic, it's anybody from around the world. We've got many different cultures that are here in Pendergrass, and everybody is welcome to come in. And as far as that goes, the books and resources are from Cambridge. So if there are any educators that know about Cambridge books, that's wonderful. We're looking for volunteers for teaching. We're looking for volunteers just for helping coordinating. But again, it's another community effect. I'm doing what I can to take care of the kids, and what I can to take care of the families, and what I can to bring everybody together in Pendergrass. And I will continue to do that.
And what's that one called again?
That one is Learning in the Library. No, the program is, the one that's supporting us is La Amistad, L-A space A-M-I-S-T-A-D. So when you look them up, you'll see they're not profit. But again, they're willing to help out, but it's happening here in Pendergrass. They're based in Atlanta, and they focus mostly in Atlanta, but they said that they're more than happy to help. And in fact, just today, I received an email saying that their coordinator is more than happy to provide trainings for us, and she's invited us to come. So anybody wants to volunteer, by all means, please get in touch with me or Renee or anybody on the council, and then we'll add your name to that list.
Well, this is for kids and the parents.
Oh, yeah, especially a lot of stuff is,
big English.
yeah, this is specifically a lot of times for the parents on the Mondays and Wednesday evenings. And depending on the number of people who sign up, like I said, we could always do it during the day as well if we want to. But yes, this is, again, definitely for adults.
If we did get the volunteer educators.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes. I've got one volunteer educator already committed.
Okay.
Hopefully two with Gabe there. In all seriousness, I'm going to try to at least have a team. There's another gentleman from Seasons of Pendergrass who taught English in Japan for 5 years, and he's on board. So I've got him as well, and then Sylvia and just a few.
I would love to, but I'm like, I
know it's summer, it's not football.
I referee football. We're in the midst of.
You're in two-a-days right now. Come on. Football season. Yeah, it's two-a-day season. That's training. All right. So yeah, anybody that wants to volunteer would love that. In addition, there's this concept of Neighbors Day that I'd love to get off the ground, where instead of complaining about our neighbors, if we want to do something fun and supportive, and I don't know, go mow their lawn or help clean something up, just knock on the door, be friendly. We'll figure that one out too. But that's just something to put on the table.
All right. As far as council, anything else that we want to discuss in this particular meeting? We will move on to public comment. Anybody from the public that wants to speak? Okay. Come on up.
Hey, Laura Bigley, I'm over here at Walnut Grove. The roads are being approved, I appreciate that. Thank you, it's been a long time coming for the HOA to actually say thank you. The clarification that we want to clean up was what Sylvia brought up as well, is that the clarification is when a car is parked on the sidewalk, so when you're driving up on the street and the car is half in the street, half on the sidewalk. As an HOA, in our provisionals, we can't enforce that. Now, we can enforce the parking on the grass. Of course we can. We can find them all day long. However, we want to make sure that if it's halfway on the street and halfway on the sidewalk,
If they're on the street.
we need to get help with that because we have elderly people as well as just we have a walking club over there now. So we want to make sure that, our driveways are not long enough to where we can all pull up far enough to where the full sidewalk is clear because our cars hang out. So we need help with the enforcement of, if they decide to just park up on the sidewalk, who's going to help with that?
If they're hanging out, I think I already kind of talked about this. If they're hanging out on the street, we're still addressing that.
Okay.
And so some people went to just driving specifically just on the sidewalk and then being on the yard.
Right.
And that's something that we would like the HOA to kind of take care of. But if they're on the street, it's something that we will enforce for sure.
Okay. And the second one was Monday and Wednesday nights for the English lessons, what time?
Good question. I think 6 p.m.
I think it was 6 to 9.
I think so. 6 to 8:30. It's 2.5 hours.
Okay.
I believe so.
You had to teach?
Yes.
Since you're going back into teaching?
Oh, that's perfect. Thank
So
you.
I'll come volunteer.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is there any other public comment?
Yeah, Bill Ellis, Blackberry Farms. Is there any way possible, like on the webpage or something like that, to put an update on what's going on with, coming soon, the town square, like any dates or any other, future building that's been proposed as to like what's going on behind Blackberry Farms now? I know that everybody's gone now, but so, if there's any updates that you know of, that you could just help inform the citizens, even like that going down with the apartments and your, the service area.
I'll tell you why I don't like to do that at this point is because it's so fluid that things can change. And so once I put it in writing, it then becomes
Well,
concrete.
it's just as,
But I can give
you
you something right now and tell you what the update is today. And then knowing that could change tomorrow.
Right,
Okay.
I dealt in the construction business.
Right. So as far as
I know.
the town square is concerned, there is one building that's going to be constructed, I'm being told soon. So tell me what soon means.
Right.
And that's the best that I can give you right now. We're working on one building first. It's private. It's all privately owned, so it's not something that's managed by the city at that point. So when it comes to the town square, whenever they can sell that particular parcel of land and build it, that's what they do. They're going to start with one and then move on past that. As far as the property behind Blackberry, I believe it was approved, the Water and Sewage Authority approved the plans for the particular, the 70 townhouses. So, that's the last update that I have there. They have to still get engineering. They still have to understand what the final site plan is going to be, so on and so forth. And then they have to submit all those plans to the city for site plan final approval after all the engineering. So we haven't got that place quite yet. I know that this is a builder that's built in the city before, or a developer rather, and so he doesn't really slow down too much. So I assume it's going to start this year, but I can't give you a date when that would start.
Oh, yeah, I know he said it would be like about a 2-year project anyway.
So,
so.
Yeah, that's the best update that I can give right now. But again, things can change, and that's something that I have unfortunately had to learn the hard way, how much these things can change, and especially the dates of when they're complete. So that's the best I got.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Okay. At this point, I'm going to ask the council for a motion to enter into executive session. What we will do is we will discuss the land sale and land purchase. We will ask for the audience to exit, and all that will be here is the council and the clerk for her to take minutes upon that meeting. Whenever we talk about any real estate transactions, we have to do that in private. That's by law. It's not something that we're trying to get over on anybody. It's something that we're forced to do. And then from there, we will go back into session and adjourn the meeting after that. So do I have a motion motion to enter into executive session. Motion. I have a motion from Bob. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Nathan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
We will enter into executive session. If we could ask the audience to please step outside. Who did you send the email to? Rob Russell.
Rob Russell.
The city manager. Or
He's stepping outside right now.
Oh, okay. All right, good deal. Thanks.
There's a wall right from why not change it where everybody lives? I
believe it's not. I think it's state. I don't think it's a city law, that's a state ordinance, a state law that you can't fire within a certain. And I'm going to get clarification on that.
Yeah.
So let me get
But
clarification.
even so, if that somebody's breaking, you have numerous people.
I know in
that's
Blackberry,
something-
I know in Blackberry, I get a lot of complaints about
I
people
mean,
firearms.
I don't hear, I mean, I hear firearms, but it's not anybody in Blackberry. Okay.
No, it's not Blackberry residents, it's
Right.
Blackberry residents that are complaining.
Yeah, well, I
Have you stopped the thing? You don't have to stop it, I was just curious if you did.
I have not.
Okay, great.
okay, so, no, I just,
Wait, is this
somebody,
public comment?
if somebody,
It's still, we're still in public comment at this point, since she's,
I just want to bring it to your attention, you know.
Yeah.
Just to communicate it, put that in the letter, whatever. If somebody's doing something they're not supposed to do, send out and as a reminder, a friendly reminder.
sure.
Or if they don't apply, if they don't comply, that you're looking into changing it to be a lot stricter, that no one can comply.
Right. I agree.
Okay? So that's my only comment.
Friendly reminders. Like
Yeah,
neighbors
but
say. Like
totally-
neighbors say.
No matter
Thank you very much for helping to support Neighbors Day, because that's a great idea. It's a friendly reminder to remind people, right? Yeah.
Just a friendly reminder, these are a few things that have come up that, you know, we want to bring to your attention that maybe you're not aware of, you know.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then that way, they're not mad at you because you've changed something like, how dare you, you know?
Sure. Yeah, I get that.
And leashing their dog,
Huh?
and leashing their dog, having their dog
Making
on
sure
a
that they're
leash.
safe, yeah, anytime
Yeah,
they're outside
leash law,
the gate.
that's
Yeah,
already.
leash law, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always done, well, my dogs are inside the fence, but if I walk them, I still have to be careful where I walk
Yes. Yeah.
because of other people's dogs. So, okay, thank you.
Thanks. As soon as she leaves,
Yeah.
will you stop the